Another edition of Creator News Live. So happy you're here. We have got one of my favorite speakers and friends here on the show, Ryan Koral. Ryan Koral's here. He is an amazing speaker. I met him, a couple years ago at Jessica's Lima conference, Social Media Lima, which, are you going back this year? I assume you are, because
I'm going back.
Yeah. Are you speaking?
They're going to put me on the stage.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, once again. So, he's amazing. Yeah, Ryan is amazing. He owns, I need to come out and see your studio sometime. Like, I'm waiting for the invitation, but he's got a big studio. Is it in Detroit? Is that what I'm thinking?
Yeah, it's north. Okay. We're north of Detroit, a little town called Lake Orion.
Yeah. And Ryan's been on the show before. We talked about storytelling. We're going to talk about a little bit more about storytelling today, but kind of in like the realm of all this crazy AI stuff that is going out. And of course, we've got the amazing Paul Gowder here as well. Paul, how are you doing today? He's not on a boat, but he's got the hat, but he's not on the boat.
Not today. We'll be on a boat in 2 weeks. But yeah, it's a great day. It's a great day.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and hit go on the podcasting machine, and we'll get started. Paul, you ready for the intro?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Hello, folks. Welcome to another edition of Creator News Live. I'm Jeff C., and you're not.
And I'm Paul Gowder, and this is the show that keeps you up to date with what's happening in the world of the creator economy and so much more.
You ever found yourself wondering how to create content that actually connects in a world flooded with AI? Are you trying to figure out how to use those new tools without losing what makes your voice unique? Or maybe you're looking for a better way to tell your story so it stands out and builds real trust. If any of that sounds familiar, you are in the right place.
Yeah, so today we have Ryan Koral, a filmmaker, storyteller, and creative coach who spent years helping creators and businesses communicate with clarity and purpose. Today, Ryan will be sharing his perspective on storytelling in this crazy world of AI, what makes content feel genuinely human, and how to create videos that actually resonate.
So sit back, clear your schedule, clear your mind, and get ready for this week's episode of Creator News Live.
Your content's moving fast, but the meaning doesn't last. Ryan Koral's here to say, tell your story your own way.
There we go. Your very own things. What's wrong? You're kind of losing it over there.
That is amazing.
So yeah, we have been doing that every week for our guests. We have a lot of fun with that. One of my favorite things. But another one of my favorite things, it allows us to bring in music like this, do all this cool camera switching that we're doing, bringing up lower thirds like this, is our friends over at Ecamm. You can find out more about Ecamm by going to ecamm.com/Jeff. You can use code Jeff15 to save 15% on your first purchase. Thank you to the amazing folks over at Ecamm for sponsoring the show. We've already got some of our amazing friends showing up today. We got the amazing Amy Keys saying happy Friday to you, Amy. But mostly Disney says he's driving and listening. Okay, that's a little dangerous, but thank you for doing that, Sean. And then the amazing Dustin Stout from Magi waving hi as he passes through all the AI stuff. And then Kira saying, happy Friday. Always love hearing the theme songs for each guest. Thank you, Kira, for putting up with my little goofiness. But we are going to dive right into the show today because Ryan has some great things. He's an amazing storyteller. I kind of teased at the beginning that he's an incredible speaker. He brings a lot of that storytelling into his speaking events, or his speaking gigs that he does. Like he's Jessica, he's going to be there. When is Lima? I don't even know. Do you know? June. We'll say June. Anyway, go to their site. They'll tell you what it is. But Ryan's amazing at that. So we're going to dive right in and talk right about this idea of, video or content with soul, because Ryan talks about this a lot. So you talk about creating video with soul. So Ryan, I want to know, in a world where AI can generate content instantly, what actually gives content its soul?
Well, Jeff, I'm glad you asked. Yeah, I mean, it's no secret that we're in a trust recession. It's no secret that, at least my experience scrolling on Facebook Instagram, LinkedIn, when something feels not real, like the moment that I realize like, oh, this is not the real person, this is their AI avatar, or this is something, if it's not like entertaining and really funny, and then even if it is entertaining and really funny, it depends on what it is. If it's like, animals doing something ridiculous, I'm like, yeah, pass. Like, but if it's little babies on stage doing stand-up comedy, like I can't get enough of that stuff. So the thing that's so important, if you have a business and you're not showing up as your real true self, you're missing out on a massive opportunity, because I think the more and more AI stuff that we ingest, it all feels like mostly the same, right? And so it's mostly vanilla. It just doesn't feel like us. And I've been running an experiment. I started in January. I've stayed away from posting on Facebook and Instagram work-related stuff, and also like deeply, I don't want to say deeply vulnerable, but like pretty vulnerable stuff. Like I have plenty of friends and family where I share, like, even loose friends that when I'm in person, I'll go deep.
I'm a loose friend. I'm a loose friend. I see. You pointed right at me when you said that.
I was pointing. Okay. I just, I'm just saying. Right. I have hesitated posting stuff like that online. I definitely don't post like, religious or political stuff, because for me to not be able to just have a conversation, right? I'm just going to throw something out and like, we'll just see how people respond to that. I'm not into that. So I started a newsletter, and I started posting like real stories of stuff going on in my life, stuff that, things that stories that have been a part of my life, my whole life. And I started sharing those stories. And I've had more people in the last 10 weeks of me doing this, a weekly newsletter. I'm writing the newsletter, and then I'm making a YouTube video of me essentially reading the newsletter. I've had so many people, more people in the last 10 weeks, comments, send me a voice message on Instagram, see me in public and say, like, I've been following, like, keep doing this thing that you're doing. And I'm just realizing that people are hungry for real. It's just like the algorithm, all of the things, we're just seeing more and more stuff that looks and sounds the same. And our story is our differentiator. So actually showing up for the people that you want to serve is probably the best thing that you can do, outside of, going to like in-person events and building trust that way. So, yeah.
So I want to follow up this real quick with thoughts from Paul as well. But I just sent out a newsletter where I just said that, like, hey, here's my story. You may not know about me. I did Strolling Magic and was in this Wild West comedy show, right? And I said, tell me your story. Like, what is the thing that people go, wait, what? What did you say? What did you used to do? And I got so many responses back, and people went out of their way and took pictures. I mean, they sent me pictures of back in the day when they did something. I had somebody, Rich Brooks, who's usually here. He was like, he did the Blues Brothers impersonation act that he went around and actually played live and did that. He had like a cover band of the Blues Brothers. Another guy was another magician who went around. So people want to share their story, and we just don't ask enough. And when you do, oh my gosh, it's so great to connect with people on a whole other level. I mean, I was just shocked with the newsletter. And I know, Paul, you have been doing experiments with, posting kind of real behind the scenes. You're on a cruise ship, whatever. And those are doing really good on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, I so agree with you. People are wanting more real conversation, real connection. So with all the content out there right now, it's easy to tell, like you said, the baby dancing, the animal doing something weird, the toddler on stage doing stand-up. All those we know are AI assisted. But the tools are getting so good, there's sometimes it's hard to really tell. So, as a filmmaker, what are some of the tells that we can start looking for to differentiate what's real and what's not?
Oh man. Well, I mean, the crazy thing is, like, it's like every month, one of the AI apps. It's like, oh, we've improved this and this looks, and C Dance is about to come out. They kind of hit pause on that, but like as soon as that comes out, it's like everything just gets more and more real and indistinguishable. And so that's why I think it's just more important now than ever to show up and to just share the nuances of some of the day-to-day stuff, like stuff that I used to not, I was like, nobody cares about me dropping my daughter off at school and walking home blistery cold. But you guys, it's like I would say the dumbest content, where I just like, it's selfie style. I'm walking, getting hit in the face with snow, and I'm just like, hey, today's going to be a great day. Like, I love walking my daughter to school. She's in 5th grade. This is it. Like, these walks are coming to an end here in a couple of months as she, is going to go to middle school. And, but I've had so many people that are like, dude, I love your walks with your daughter in the morning are just like great content. So when it comes to like distinguishing, I don't know if we're going to be able to distinguish what's real, but the moment that somebody realizes that that's your AI avatar and that's not really you, there's this like, for me, I'm like, oh, I'm out. Like, no thanks. Like, I feel tricked. I feel duped. If it's clear, like, hey, this is Ryan's AI avatar, and I'm going to pretend like I just dropped Hazel off at school, and whatever. It's like, okay, well, there's content I don't care about, but the transparency, of like, this is real and this is not. So I just feel like it feels icky, and that's part of why I think I've held back a lot in my own marketing, because I'm like, I don't want to say something if it's not true. I don't want to say that we helped or we're responsible for $100 million in sales with a video that we did, unless I know for sure that is true. Like, I don't want to just like throw stuff out like that. And that's how I feel with AI content that tries to position you better than you actually are. Because at the end of the day, people are going to find out. Right. And the more honest and open we are about just, hey, I don't have this all figured out. I'm going to make a video. I'm going to leave some uhs and some uhs. Some uhs and some ums. Some uhs. Wow. Okay. Yeah. That. So, those are the moments where like, oh, okay, this guy's like, he's pretty quirky and can't talk right. But that's okay. I kind of like that. Or, I don't. And that's fine too. Being okay with like the people that don't want to follow you because for whatever reason, like those aren't your people, right? Mm-hmm. So just show up for the people that get you and that kind of like you.
So this is a question. I had this with my daughter. We've talked about this. Like, she'll send me some funny clip, or I'll send her some funny clip, and I think it's hilarious, and she'll go, "Dad, that was AI." Now, is it not as funny after you find out that it was AI, or was it still funny? Like, that's some people are like, they feel like you said, betrayed, and like, oh, that was AI, that wasn't funny anymore, but it was funny at the beginning. So it's kind of this weird thing, at least with humor, I think. Now, if you're faking something like you have a jet or something and you really don't, that's dishonest. But Ryan, what do you think of like using AI as a tool in your toolbox? For example, I've always wanted to have my own theme song for my show since I was a little kid, like playing with the radio and recording myself on cassette tape. And now I can have one with AI, and I brought it in, I figured out a way to do it so I can do it quickly and put it that theme song we played for you at the beginning. Is that okay as long as I just disclose it, or is it okay to use those tools to enhance something you're doing? What are your thoughts, especially as video, because video is where it's moving the fastest, the quickest, in my opinion, that and images. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, no, it's not okay. Don't do it. No, I mean, the technology is so fun. I mean, I've been vibe coding. I've created a few different apps. I've created a couple of different apps that people are paying money for. And I'm like, I was just like having some fun and realized like, oh, this could actually be something. So as much as it's sad for the creators who like those people, like that was the thing that they did. And now we don't need to like use them, right? Like I couldn't get a custom song. Like how much would it cost for a custom song? So we would go without it. But the fact that we can afford it and we can make it or we can remake it and try, like I'm all for that. I feel like it's a different form of expression, and I know, you know, people are going to have like strong opinions about all that. I mean, my wife is a fine artist, and you can literally go on Midjourney or any of the apps and say like, give me an abstract painting, and it's going to give you something that actually looks sweet, and it might actually like make your heart leap a little bit. And I don't think that that's wrong. It's just a lot different than what we've been used to for a long time. You know, and you talk about trading videos with your daughter. I mean, we watch cartoons and that's all fake. And we watch, you know, movies, and that stuff is actually not really happening, you know, in most cases. So I don't know. I think it's just a different, we have to frame how we think about it differently, but I'm all for like having fun with playing with the tools. And then like some of the tools, like people are like, hey, we'll pay money to have you make that for us, even if it's with AI. So yeah, seal of approval ish.
So really quick, Paul, before we get to your question, I wanted to, Dustin says, I feel the exact same way when you're talking about being true to your and disclosing. And he goes, I run an AI company. I feel like we should be friends. You and Ryan would get along, Dustin. You guys really would. And then Kira says, I love that. I think honesty, mistakes, and humanity in marketing ends up being more powerful in the long run. And Heather says, no, it's not as funny if it's AI. So there you go. See, people have strong opinions on this. And Dustin comes back and says, it's all about the expectation. If we come into knowing it's AI, it's fine. But if we come into assuming it's real and then realize it's AI, we feel tricked and don't like it. It's all about expectations. And then Kira has a great question, Ryan. What would you tell artists about embracing AI in their processes without it replacing their process without their processes, right? I think that's how I say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are so many elements of the craft that don't require, you know, the actual tool. Like my wife being a fine artist, like if she starts using Midjourney to make her art, it's like, oh, okay, we're missing the point here, right? I mean, as an artist herself, she's like, this is how I express myself. As a filmmaker, you know, for me to sit across from someone and be able to pull a story out that like is going to make people cry, like that's the craft. But what about, you know, I can come up with 3 really good questions. What if I go back and forth with Claude and say like, hey, help me, what am I missing here? Here's the context that I have. Is there another question that, I mean, I think I'm an amazing interviewer, and I don't feel like I need help with questions, but you know, it's like being in a mastermind. As soon as you're with other people, like you look at the world like this, and to have somebody say like, hey, have you thought about this? Or have you thought about, and it's like, oh, I haven't thought about that, but actually let me take that because I can add my own little flair to it and we can build this other thing together. So I think there are a lot of different areas in running a business that should definitely be leveraged, where we should be leveraging AI to get our time back, to scale what we're doing. But for artists and for the craft that, you know, that they have, I mean, there are probably some crafts that it's like, maybe there is a core part of the AI that you should be embracing and using. I mean, my wife, she would never say like, yeah, okay, I want to just start selling AI prints instead of doing it myself. Like she would just lose her heart, and then she could do any, you know, she would pick any job. Why would she stay in the art? But it's a tough industry right now for a lot of people, where AI can do it faster, better, you know, quote unquote better.
I think that the pendulum's going to swing the other way too, because I think people will be desiring your wife's art because they know it's real and made by a human, and that has some value to it. I want to really touch on real quick what you said about using it as a tool with your interviews. Is I actually, because you've been on the show before, and I kind of knew what we're going to talk about today, but I was able to write my list of questions and like expand on what you said. But I went back and said, hey, here's the transcript of when I interviewed Brian before. I don't want to ask the same questions, so make sure that they're all new. And so it could do all that, and I would never do that. That'd take me too much time, but I can do it now. Totally. It's an amazing, and it makes me a better interviewer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, you're talking about using it as a tool to help tell stories, and I think that's great. And we see a lot of faceless YouTube channels right now that have gone way too far in using AI. So for somebody out there who's using AI to write their scripts or 100% write their emails, what do we do to put human back in the process?
Yeah, the thing that having my own show, I'm reaching 500 episode pretty soon. There's a lot of content, a lot of me, babbling on and on. So my AI tools have tons of context, tons of my uhs and my ums, right? Lots of my perspective. And so I use that as context as I'm building out whatever, if it's emails, if it's a new landing page, just anything like that. So your story, this is where your story becomes so important. If you don't have a regular show, or you don't already create content regularly, this is where you got to spend some time. This is where you got to spend time unpacking, what is your niche? Why is that your niche? Why do you care about this work? What's the work that lights you up? What's the stuff that makes you fall asleep? Answering these essential branding type questions that, if you're running a business, hopefully you've had some kind of a process, like you've gone through a process like that. But I mean, really, if you wanted, you could have your AI interview you and just say, like, ask me 100 questions about the things that I care about, the things that make me me, and start there. I mean, I think it's a lot better to do it with a person, because a person can feel your passion and your excitement and say, like, hey, when you started talking about your mastermind group, you lit up. Like, tell me more. Like, why do you light up so much about that? And this other stuff you're excited about, but not nearly as excited about. So I think they're, in-person conversation, whatever, like that's probably the best. But to just start with answering a lot of questions about why you do the work that you do and why you care about it and who you do it for and all of that stuff, that's great context for whatever AI app that you use. Hopefully it's Claude. And then, as you give it more and more context, then it should be feeling more and more like you. And then also just not taking it at face value. Like, hey, help me write this newsletter about, blah, 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 spits this thing out. And I won't name names here, but it's like, okay, cool. I don't have to do it. Great. Copy paste. We're done here. It's like, no. Like let's push back on that and say, like, I wouldn't say that. I use more contractions. I use the ... whatever that's called, instead of the M- thing, and help it to learn your nuances and the things that, again, make you unique. If it's not coming across in your newsletter, I've got, I don't know. I have a client who does these newsletters, and I'm just like, it does not feel human at all. It just feels like you asked ChatGPT to make this thing for you, and it did, and it's mediocre at best. Right. The human element, video with soul, content with soul, like, that's the thing that makes people feel like, oh, okay, like I can relate to this person. I feel like I can feel this. And that's why I'm so passionate about video, because outside of like us being together in person, video, I think is the best way for people to get a sense of, like, what is this person really like? And why is Ryan excited about everything? Is he actually like that in person? It's like,
he is.
Yeah. For better or worse, he is.
Yeah.
I'll stop there.
So
I'm out of here. Bye, guys.
You and I had talked a little bit before the show, and you thought about doing your own live show because, one, it gives you a ton of content like what we do here. And the other thing is like, AI can't really do this. I can't really bring up, AI really can't bring up comments and go, hey, the difference is when AI is trying to trick people into thinking it's not AI. Like, that's from Heather. And there's that connection between these people that I think live video is still amazing, and I highly suggest that you do it, because I would watch your show. That would be a lot of fun. But Ryan, I want to get really practical about, as a video maker, and a lot of people are doing YouTube, or they want to do YouTube. And one of the real practical questions I have is, when it comes to like using it for B-roll, like before you were always trying to find those stock video libraries and trying to slam something in that kind of worked, maybe not, but it was something that you needed to cover something or have more engagement, or trying to film it all yourself. What are your thoughts about using AI, if it's done right, to use it for B-roll to help tell your story in like a YouTube type video?
I think it's great. I know. It's like,
well,
I think that, I lead, I have a mastermind filled with filmmakers and video production people, and a community of filmmakers that everybody has an opinion on this. But again, I think it goes back to accessibility. And a couple of years ago, like you'd have to hire a filmmaker to come and, okay, follow me around. Let's get some lifestyle footage of me drinking coffee and pretending I'm on meetings, buy, sell,
Yeah.
So, can you do stuff? I sent a thumbnail to my family thread. So my wife, my 18-year-old son, 16, and 11-year-old daughter. And I just said, hey, does this thumbnail, it was me, but it was run through Nano Banana Pro.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked, kind of Mr. Beast-ish. And that's what one of the kids kind of made fun of me. And I said, hey, like, what I don't want to do, I don't want it to feel fake. Like, does this at least look like me, like 95%-ish? And what are we talking about? Why am
No, I was talking about using B-roll if it's okay for.
Oh yeah. B-roll. So I still struggle with like being okay with me having a thumbnail that is AI generated. Like even your GIF of me.
Right. Yeah.
So I was laughing so hard when that came into my email. Like, oh, this is great. But I'm personally wrestling with it. If you ask me a year from now, I'll probably be more okay with it because I'll probably be using it more, and it will be even better and harder to tell. Like, wait, I can't tell if that's Ryan or not Ryan. And it's a thumbnail. Like, who really cares? The whole point of a thumbnail is to get you to watch the video. In the video, like, it's actually me, guys. It's not an AI avatar. So
that's good. So because a lot of people are like, they're very black and white when it comes to it, and for me, I'm able to tell a story better because now I have more colors in my palette, I guess, to use on my brush, because I can do stuff that I wasn't able to do before to tell a story. But I think, like Heather was saying, not doing it in a way that's trying to trick people, but to tell the story and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like if I'm making B-roll, and I don't know if you're talking specifically about B-roll of the people themselves or just like any kind of
no, not of the people, not people themselves. Yeah, I think that's that crosses the line a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I was going to say like B-roll of me like walking on my private jet, that I don't have. Like that's weird, right? Or standing in front of a jet that's not mine. Like that's just like, why would I do that? But stuff that doesn't feature me in it, like all day long, create that B-roll, right? We got that B-roll. Anybody remember that old YouTube video? That's good. Probably just a video person likes that or knows that. But yeah, I would say like the tools are there. You don't have to use the generic stock footage. Like create like, hey, a guy in his mid 40s that's frustrated, banging his head up against the desk because he doesn't want to shoot the video, or like make that B-roll. Like, go for it.
Cool. That was my question, because you're into it all the time, and I wanted to have a little better perspective. So real quick, I wanted to ask the audience. So what is harder for you right now? Is it coming up with ideas or making your content connect? So is it ideas or making that content that actually connects with your audience? I want to know. Let me know in the comments, wherever you're watching from, what your answer is. Coming up with ideas or making your content connect. And now we're going to go into our second section, which is the amazing Paul Gowder has the question about storytelling that drives business. So what are your thoughts, Paul?
Yeah, you help people who are best kept secrets in their field, and you help them step into their voice. So what's usually missing when somebody's stuck there, and how do you get them to pull that out?
Yeah. So I have a framework, guys. I got real fancy, and this framework is the same framework that I'm highlighting in my book that is currently being worked on and come out in September. Really excited about that. I think a lot of content, it's either, hey, like here's a story, maybe it connects, maybe it doesn't, or hey, here's some content or like how to, or just some information. And it doesn't always lead us to a place. It's not always clear. So the Tell framework, our production company is called Tell Studios. We tell stories. The T in Tell is transition. It's like we're so into our world that it's hard to get our attention. But if we can with a question, with something crazy going on in the background, a contrarian point of view, something that gets the right person leaning in to say like, okay, like, tell me more. I'm listening, right? Where are we going? So T is transition in the TELL framework. The E is for emotion. And this is like, why do people care about this? And this is where you can share a real story. Like, you can be vulnerable, honest. Stories are the things that help people remember your framework, that help people remember the whole point of the video that you're creating, a time that you won or a time that you lost or something that you experienced in your own life. So creating an opportunity to connect emotionally. You want to touch people's heart in some way to get them saying like, okay, I can relate to this. I haven't experienced that, but like, I can relate to this guy, this story. The first L is leverage. And this is the data. This is like, what's social proof? Like, how can you back this up? Like, why should I believe this? And the final L is lead. This is lead somebody somewhere, right? What is the call to action? In every video, start with the end in mind and think, what do I want people thinking, doing, believing as a result of watching this video? Maybe it's just like, hey, if you like this kind of content, follow me for more. Or I'm doing a free workshop. Here's the website. Or, some of our clients, it's like, hey, call this phone number, scan this QR code. Or I just want you to think about people differently as a result of, this share that I have. So when you can use all four of those components in a video, especially if you can have the emotion part and the leverage part, if you can connect both the heart and the head, it's a winning combination. You're getting people that like feel it, and then also for the people that need a little bit of proof or reason why, you're winning on all accounts, in my perspective.
So, and this is a random question. I'm thinking about you on set, telling, working with a client, and you're trying to get their story out of them, maybe using that framework. What is something like if you're filming and it's just not coming through, like you're going like it just doesn't feel authentic or that's not you? How do you get them out of that shift to really start telling their story?
I usually like flip a table and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, this isn't working. That's where I start. That's the transition. It really gets them being like, wait, what just happened? Man, I don't know if you'd be surprised or not, but we work with some very big brands and organizations. And so sometimes I'll be sitting across from a C-suite person. Sometimes it's the CEO, and they've got the corporate speak down, right? They're going to circle back with me later on in the conversation and hope this email finds me well. They're just going to, they know the thing that they've said 1,000 times before, and that's where they start. So two tricks that I have. One is, let's say we're in person, we're at the studio, or we're at their office or whatever. We'll be set up before they sit down. We'll hit record as they sit down, and I'm just sitting across from, I'll shake their hand, whatever, and they sit down, and I'll say something like, hey, before we get started, like, just tell me, like, just give me kind of like, why do you get up every morning? Like, why do you care about this work? So everything that I'm trying to do is disarm them. Like, I'm a goofball. Like, I'm just here. I'm not trying to be overly corporate or trying to fit into some kind of a mold that maybe they're used to. I'm just really curious. Like, tell me, like, why do you do this work? And that if they don't think that the camera's rolling, obviously they've got, a big softbox in their face. But if they don't think that the camera's rolling and that it's time for them to do the soundbite, then they're going to give me a human response. And other times we're in the middle of the interview, and they're giving me the corporate response. And then I'll tell them, I'm like, okay, I mean, it sounds like you probably have been asked that a whole bunch of times. But why? Why is that? Like, why do you care about that? Or like, why do you think that? So I just try to, like, it's like asking the same question again, but like, just like, forget all the corporate speak you just spoke, and just talk to me like we're having coffee together. And I really just want to get to know you. Like, I don't need like all the jargon or whatever. So, I mean, that's really my strategy when, especially with somebody who's like super corporate. But in the world of, guys and gals like you and me, where we are probably a lot more relatable than a person who runs a multi-billion-dollar company. So that comes a lot more naturally to us. But for those that came from a corporate world, it's hard to get to that spot of like, oh, I don't have to say, hello, thank you for watching my video, and make sure to like and subscribe my robot channel, because I don't have to talk like, it's like, no, just like be you. Like how, like if we're in a conversation, how do you act, and like, do you know what to do with your hands? And it's okay if you don't, like, that's fine. Say something about that. Like, I don't know what to do with my hands. Anyway, making this awkward video, and here we go.
Yeah, that's great advice. What I used to do is you could turn off the tally light, that red light that would come on when the record button would come on in the camera, and I would turn that off, and I would just start talking to them like you said, and they was like, "What? When are we going to start the interview?" And I'm like, "Oh, we've been doing it." So and they're like,
we would put tape over the red light so that they couldn't see it.
Yeah, that's a nice little trick. Really quick, I want to bring up some other comments from our amazing audience watching today. Kira says, when I was in the tech space, we'd hear leadership say, we'll double click into that in every meeting. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
And Rich, when we asked the question, like, what is it? What do you struggle with? Content or connection? And he says it's coming up with ideas for topics. So I know this is a problem for a lot of people. So Ryan, I want you to talk about a little bit, like a lot of creators think they need to make more content. Like, oh my gosh, I got to put a podcast out each week. I got to put a YouTube content out every week. Based on what you're seeing now, what do you think creators actually need to do instead to tell their story? Instead of just putting, getting on that hamster wheel of just, I got to put out 10 reels, I got to do this and this and this, and I can't do it all, and so I'm a big failure. What do you tell people what they actually need to do instead?
What if I was like, you are a failure. You
can't cut it. You can't handle the truth.
You should quit. Wow.
Yeah.
Story is the strategy. Period. You have a story, and there are some people that are like, oh, my story's not, I look at other people in the industry. I really like that person. I love their setup, and they're just, every time they make a video, it's so good. It's clear the way that they talk and communicate. They've always got 3 points. They've got a Venn diagram for this and a process for that and a framework for this. And I'll never, or maybe not for a long time, be able to do that. And so then we believe that, and then we don't show up for the people that we can serve, the people that we can really help. And that's really too bad. It's really too bad for those people, because you definitely, you're at the place where you're at in your life and in your work because people believe that it's worth it. And video is that thing that allows you to get more opportunities if you believe that. And so I would say at the very, very least, there's a great book, Storyworthy.
It's a great one.
Storyworthy. Matthew Dix, I think his name is. Brilliant guy. He's like won the most Moth story slams in history. 5-second moments. I did a YouTube video this a few weeks ago, my newsletter. And he suggests that, hey, at the end of every day, look through the day and try to figure out, like, what were the 5-minute moments where something changed? And I've started doing this, and I'm like, it doesn't seem like anything. So an example would be, I share the story about when I was sitting at a table with 5 of the closest friends, my wife, and then 4 other people, and work. This was in 2016. Work was so bad. I was out of money. I didn't know how I was going to pay my team and all this stuff. And somebody asked me a question like, how's work going? And I just like broke down. Big surprise. I started crying. I broke down, and my friend Jay said, dude, like, if you need groceries, if you need help with your mortgage, like, we're here. Like, this is what, in that moment, I share that when I share that story, I'm usually like, I'll tear up because I go right to that spot. But that was a 5-second moment in my life, that sentence that Jay shared, and then that feeling that I had, feeling like, oh, we're not alone in this. It's going to be fine. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? It's just money. Like, okay. So that 5-second moment has become such an integral part of my big picture story. And there are things every single day that if we just think through, and then there are the 5-second stories over the course of a week or a month or a year, it's like, wow, like I've got a few in here that somebody might relate with and connect with. So yes, you can plug into any of these tools and say, give me 5 content ideas. You know, I'm a video production agency owner. I want to connect more with companies that are running on EOS, or I want to connect more with people that are in the coaching space. So what are the 5 videos that I should create? Bam, 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 bam. Okay, cool. I've got these. I can do these. Is my heart into those? Is it connected? I don't know. But if there's a way to tie a story, right? We go back to the E, the emotion in the framework. If you can make that personal and make that personal connection, then whatever that topic is or that thing that you're trying to teach just becomes more real, and it becomes more you. It's your flavor. It's your take on it. So I think that being intentional about looking through the stories, the things that just seem like these are like the everyday thing, like me walking my daughter to school. I do that every single day. Do people know that like my heart kind of breaks that we've got like 2.5 months left of school, and her holding my hand as we walk down this little path where there's like dog poop that people don't pick up, that I'm going to miss those walks so much. As I've started like sharing that with people, it's like, oh, Ryan, like embrace those moments, man. Like that is a treasure. People say I'm a great dad. Like they don't actually know if I'm a great dad or not, like whatever, but they feel a part of this journey. And I think that's the gift that we give to people when we share little 5-second moments like that, is we invite them into our stories, and that builds trust. And we know in the world of marketing, people need to know you, like you, and trust you in order for them to want to work with you. And that's what I'm experiencing over just even the past few weeks. I'm an open book, right? If we're hanging out, I'm sharing deep stories. I might tear up because I'm so passionate about whatever the thing is. But doing that online, I just can't believe how far I've come. Stepping in front of the camera instead of just being behind it. It's I think I'm building trust, and people are thinking like, okay, this is a guy who's here. I feel his heart. I hear it. I hear his passion. All that stuff. So
Yeah,
I'm a little excited.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So as you're developing these stories and telling the story of your daughter, how do you separate what's a story that drives engagement, drives attention, to one that actually drives business result? Is it how you frame it, or are there certain stories that you need to tell for different situations?
Paula coming in hot, man. Jeez. Here's what I've been doing in my newsletter. My newsletter is like 90% real life story. That's like, it might be something that happened at work. What I'm working on today, it's like I made cookies for my neighbor, the building that's next to ours. This neighbor is not a friendly neighbor. So this story is like a straight up like, hey, I made some cookies for this neighbor, and oh my gosh, all of a sudden they were really nice to us. I got plenty of like walking my daughter to school stories, or sharing, with my friends stories. And there's always, thinking about it, there's always a tie-in, or there can be a tie-in to work, or it's really just about building trust. So I've been sharing content that is like straight up story, and then I'll share a video. Like I'm going to post later today, hey, I'm doing this workshop next week. It's going to be live. Come hang out. I might do another version of that where I share how important it is, and how important it has been in us using social proof to get more client work. So I might share that story. And then the call to action there is, so if this is you and you feel like you need more testimonials, more social proof of people saying like, yes, you should work with this guy, then come to this workshop. So I think it's just a matter of like, how much content are you creating? If you're just going to create like one piece this week, I'm going to highly suggest that you grab a story that people can relate with, and then somehow tie that into the thing that you're trying to say. Here's how I'm trying to show up or add value. If you're creating a lot of content, 3-5 pieces a week or something, or maybe just a couple of pieces, I would say like my suggestion would be like, I think you can split those up. So if you want to really just create the story driven piece, people are going to remember that one the most. So make sure that your call to action is like leading them closer to the place that you want them to land.
So
Agree, disagree?
So I want to talk about this a little bit. So I've actually struggled with this a little bit because, I mean, you oversharing and all that stuff, and everybody tells you to niche down, which makes it sound like when you niche down, you only talk about, hey, I'm only a speaker, or hey, I only talk about creating images with AI, or I only talk about live streaming powwows. And so doing that other stuff it feels like you're going outside of your niche or whatever. So I want to talk a little bit about like. You kind of mentioned how much to do it, but that balance is hard. Like I started carving live over COVID just to have something to do where people could come in, like it was just chill and whatever. And people have asked for me to bring that back, and I never have until a couple weeks ago. Katie Fox and I from Ecamm, she crochets, I carve, and we do that. We're doing it every Friday at 1:00, and we just talk. It's like carving, crocheting, and conversation, right? And people have loved it. But I hesitated so long to do that because it felt like, oh, I'm wasting time. It's going to dilute my brand. It's going to hurt my personal branding, all those things. If somebody wants to take first steps, Ryan, to do what you have been doing and doing this experiment, what would you suggest to do? Just like one post a week that has nothing to do with work, or does it matter?
Well, I think my experiment is working, and here's what I'm doing. I've got our production agency, Tell Studios. Like I've been doing that for 20 years. 10 years ago, I started working with video production business owners, started Mastermind digital courses and whatever. That's where I started my podcast. And so I've got these two, I've got my feet in kind of both of these areas. And then I'm like, man, I would love to work with more business owners. I would love to be telling more stories and just helping them grow and share their message, because I believe that those things are the things that change the world. And that's the stuff that really gets me excited. So how can I do that more? And as I was brainstorming through that, I'm like, do I start another channel? Do I start another business? Like having two, it's like annoying that I have that many businesses. But the Ryan Koral brand, where I just said, okay, I'm gonna land here in all this is gonna be. It's gonna be me posting. I'm gonna have a web page that's gonna say like, here are the different places that you can connect with me. If you want to hire me for production work, go there. If you want me to do a workshop with you, go here. If you're a video person, like go here. But once I had that page done, I was like, okay, like what am I doing to drive people to this page? And I was challenged to write a newsletter, and so I started writing these personal stories and having so much fun, feeling like I feel like I'm on recess, and like it was just like, I'm just gonna write and talk about stuff that I like, and if it ties into business, cool, and if it doesn't, whatever. The whole thing is that if I could build a trust engine and people come here, the right people that are like, oh shoot, Ryan, you keep popping up, and I think you do like video production. We need a video for our. Can we have a conversation? How does this work? So that's where my focus has been: creating one newsletter per week, recording a video of me reading the newsletter, and I'm using Prompt Smart teleprompter app, and I have a teleprompter set up so like I'm looking at you guys right now, but I actually see me and you guys right now on my screen in front of me. And so I just pull up my newsletter right here, and Prompt Smart, the app, it's not like regular teleprompters where it just goes, you pick a speed and it just goes and you have to like stay talking fast or whatever, or talking way too slow. When you pause, the teleprompter stops. And when you pick back up, then it continues. So me reading my newsletter, I'm able to like add more Ryan nuances, right? I might go off script for 30 seconds and just share like a mini story from this bigger story. So I've had people ask me, they're like, hey, do you start with your video first and then you write your newsletter from your video, or vice versa? And I'm like, why would you? No, I'm writing the newsletter. I'm like, you actually think that it doesn't sound like I'm reading the thing? I'm trying to make it seem like more, because I'm like, how boring would it be if I'm just reading this? But that's it. I'm creating the newsletter, recording the video, and then I'm actually uploading that to Riverside. And then Riverside has magic edits, magic clips, they call them. And it's pulling 5 different clips from my 7 or 10 minute long YouTube video, and I'm usually pulling like one of those. I'm like, this is good enough. So I've really lowered the bar, at least for my personal brand, to say I'm not striving for perfection here. And because what I'm trying to do is give people the freedom to say like, okay, Ryan really cares about video. He wants his stuff to look good and to sound good. And while that's true, I'm also saying it's probably more important for me to take my phone outside and to record a selfie video of me walking and talking, where people are like, oh, okay, like, so everything doesn't have to look and sound so good, because obviously I look and sound so good right here.
Yeah.
So that timing, it's taking me the video that I'm editing, super quick edit, right? I'm cutting the front end and the back end, and I may say a sentence twice because I totally jacked it up, and it's going to be like really awkward to leave that in there. But I'm leaving plenty of awkward things in there, again, to give people that permission. So editing the video is taking me 10 minutes, maybe not. It's not even taking me 15 minutes. I'm watching it at 2x, and then uploading it to Riverside, grabbing that clip, and then plugging my whole transcript into Claude to say, okay, give me the context for if I'm going to post this this short clip, give me the text to put on that. And all in all, it's probably taking me, with planning and writing, that's the longest part. That's probably an hour and a half of actually writing that. But like I said, doing this over the last 10 weeks, I didn't release a video last week, and I was like, you know what? It's okay. Like, I've done a video every other week. We had stuff going on. I just can't do it. But I did get the newsletter out at the end of the weekend. Usually they come out Saturday morning, but it is building a ton of trust, where I feel like now I can show up on those other platforms that I haven't been on, Facebook and Instagram, to say like, hey, I'm actually doing a work thing, and if anybody wants to join. And I feel like I've built a lot of trust, and I already have a lot of trust with, family and friends that are on there, obviously, because they know me. But for the people who, been my loose friends on Facebook, building trust.
Yeah. So I'm going to steal that idea, and Paul probably will too. That's a great idea, to read your email, but then expand upon it and have another piece of content to it, because I love email. I have a great email community. If you guys want to join, jeffc.com/news.
And your emails are so good. Sorry, I interrupted, but get Jeff's emails. I'm sure Paul's are great too, because Jeff did say that they are. But
yeah, Paul taught me.
Where do you get your emails at, Jeff?
jeffc.com/news. And by the way, we're pulling all this stuff up by our friends over at Ecamm. By going to ecamm.com/Jeff, you can save 15% by using code Jeff15. They are the amazing sponsors of the show. But I want to make sure, before we get off too much off the subject, because I have so many questions for Ryan. He's such a great communicator, and he talks so much in the language that I like to listen to. But I want to know what are you struggling with putting together content right now? Is it like being clear? Is it clarity? Is it consistency? Like, Ryan's putting out a thing every week. Are you struggling with that? Or is it your confidence? You're like, I can't get on camera. It just makes me feel icky. So is it clarity? Is it consistency or confident? Let us know where you're watching your answers down below. But I wanted to spend this last couple minutes talking about your proof workshop. And this is amazing because Ryan has given us, if you use the code JeffProof by going to this website at proof.telstudios.com, he's got a really cool course that he's putting together. But I want to talk about this proof workshop. So why did you create it? Like, what problem were you seeing over and over that made you say, I need to build something specifically for this?
Since day one of doing video, people are like, hey, I need case studies, I need testimonials. So if you can interview these people, they've got a great story about how I've helped them. So I've been doing that work since day one. Raise your hand if you run a business or community or anything like that, and you could use more social proof. That's probably everybody. And it's like proof that works. Like the stuff where people say, oh, Ryan and his team did a great job. They were nice to work with. They were fun. He's so handsome and charming. I mean, look at those weird glasses. That's not the stuff that gets people to buy, right? And I can believe in something all I want and say that, hey, this workshop's going to be amazing. It's going to be live. It's next week. Go to it. But if I've got somebody else that's talking about how this workshop changed the way that they sell, how it changed their life, then that's going to be an easier buy than right. It's like anything. You're going to read reviews. The person selling you the car, of course, they're going to tell you all the best things about it. It's like, okay, but actually, I want to talk to the people that are driving this thing, that bought this thing. What was your process? What was your experience like? All of that stuff. So we've got it's a 5 sort of a 5 question framework that I'm going to take people through. And this is the same framework that we use when we are grabbing testimonials that move the needle. So if you have clients that are happy clients and that, most of your clients would like to talk about you, but they don't have, you're not constantly on their mind. So reaching out to some of these people and saying like, hey, would you give me 10 minutes of your time? I would love to just hear more about what went well, what didn't with us working together. And taking people through this proof framework will give you the sound bites that you need that will get other people saying like, oh, okay, I'm more interested in buying this product or service. So yeah, to not have to sell, right? To get other people, your biggest fans doing it for you. I mean, why wouldn't you want that?
Exactly.
Yeah. So for somebody like me that I haven't been collecting enough or at all testimonials. So if at the end of this, what's my takeaway? How am I going to be different? What am I going to get if I go through this workshop?
Yeah. So an actual plan. Here's how to do this. And I'm going to push really hard. Like, okay, you just spent this money on this workshop. We just spent an hour and a half together. Most people are just going to go back to their normal day-to-day. Carve out 20 minutes on your calendar. Carve out 3 different times, 20 minutes for the next 3 weeks, where you're going to reach out to some people, you're going to hop on calls with some people, and then you're going to do the follow-up work. So you're going to have the plan, and you're going to get some loving challenge to say like, okay, now do the thing, because that's what's going to move the needle is when you actually do the thing. So you'll get the framework and all of the positioning that you need, email templates that get people to say yes, just everything. You're going to get everything.
And when is this workshop?
I'm doing it live on Wednesday. Was that March 25th? Now I'm on the spot. 1 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
That sound right? All the information is there. And then if you're watching this after that happens, I'm sure we'll have an evergreen version of this. So hit up that evergreen version. It's not going to be as fun as the live, but it'll be there.
I mean, come on. Yeah, look at you now. I mean, you're all over. It's amazing. So, and use the code JeffProof to let Ryan know that you watched this show, but also you can save, I think it was like 50%, and it's not that expensive either. So proof.tellstudios.com. If you're listening, proof.tellstudios.com, and the promo code is JeffProof, all caps. So very cool. Now, Ryan, you've teased a bunch of things about well, you got this course, this live kind of cohort, but then also you have a YouTube channel, a podcast, Tell Studios. Tell people where they can find you, all the stuff like your YouTube channel. The floor is yours.
Yes, thank you. RyanKoral.com. It's Koral, so the letter K, Koral.com. That's where you can find all the things, Tell Studio, Studio Sherpas, the podcast, the YouTube channel. Most of my handles are at Ryan Koral. I don't know what I did, but I messed up the YouTube one. So don't go to Ryan Koral or youtube.com/@Ryan Koral. It's at real Ryan Koral. It's kind of annoying, but I'm trying to fix that. But if you just go to RyanKoral.com, you can get all the things there. I'm consistently doing live workshops. I run a mastermind. I'm actually working on filling my next mastermind. I do in-person events at our studio. So if you're passionate about the work that you do, you really believe in the mission. I always tell people your mission is more important than your mug. All of the insecurities that you have about what you look like, what you sound like, or whatever are not as important as the mission and the people that you are here to serve. So get the heck out of your own way, start showing up. And if that messaging resonates with you, then maybe we should hang out. So go to RyanKoral.com and let's hang out.
And if you ever have a chance to hang out with Ryan Koral, you really should. He's an amazing guy. But who else is amazing is the amazing Paul Gowder, who luckily enough is not on a ship right now. He's with us live. So Paul, where can people find out about you?
Yeah, of course, paulgowder.com, powells.com. If you are looking to create more content, I do have paulgowder.com/Facebook challenge where I'm helping people create more content for Facebook, and I take you through prompts to create 26 pieces of content in 10 days.
Alrighty, folks. Thank you so much for being on the show, to watching the show today. We got some amazing people in the comments. We've got Kira, who is awesome. Rich, who always shows up. Thank you guys so much for your short. Rich Watts showed up here at the end. Thank you guys. We wouldn't be able to do the show without you. Heather, Dustin, Zach Brown, all of you folks. Thank you so much. And with that, we'll see you guys next time.